I don't know, realizing how punk and rock and roll and stuff like that, how it was sort of attainable. Just how you can just talk to people. As a teenager, I met AC when I was super young. I know AC's a friend of yours as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask how you guys originally hooked up, because I know you've known him for a long time.
So, yeah, he played in the Murder Dolls and he played in Amen as well. And I was a big fan of those bands when I was growing up because I was at that sort of age, but they were also like, colorful and didn't take themselves too seriously, but they were also like punk and rock and roll and metal and all those things. And I was the kid that liked those bands at school. There weren't that many of us, but we were like the underdogs, because everyone else was like super into Metallica and like serious stuff. And I was more into the kind of like colorful, exciting stuff. I've told AC this story, but I remember there was a guy at my school called Ryan, and he was in my music class. And I remember he went to see the Murder Dolls. I wanted to go, but they were sold out. I couldn't go to the gig. But he came into like music class the next day. He was older than me, and he was like a cool guy. And we ended up playing in a band together. But I remember he came into school and he had like the red like AC like Murder Dolls pick that he'd caught at the gig, and I was like, oh man, if only I could ever like get a pick from AC Slade. Like AC was my favorite member of the Murder Dolls and the Amen. I just thought he was like the coolest guy. So it was like a few years after that. Obviously, he was playing in Trash Light Vision, and Trash Light Vision were playing in Edinburgh.
What a brilliant band, dude!
I absolutely loved that band. Yeah, they were playing in Edinburgh at Studio 24, which was an amazing venue, and it was a venue that I went to anyway. Like they had club nights there and gigs, and I played there myself. But I went to see Trash Light Vision playing as part of a club night on like a Saturday night. I'd released my first EP at that point, but I only had one copy of it. Like we didn't get many copies made because I couldn't afford to. So I only had one copy, and I was like, I'm going to give it to AC Slade. I don't think I've even told him it was just the one copy that I had. But I was wearing like tartan trousers and a leather jacket with like an Amen back patch, and I had a big mohawk. I went to that gig and I absolutely loved it. The rest of the band were sort of hanging around. Like Lenny was hanging around at the merch table, and Steve was around. Roger wasn't, and AC wasn't so much. AC wasn't at all. Roger was a bit, but I didn't talk to them at all. I just wanted to give my CD to AC. After they came off stage, I went up to Roger, who was like piling stuff out. And because I played in a band, I noticed that he was loading out by himself. So I was like, do you want a hand? And he went like, sure, kid, or something. And then he gave me a smoke or something. And I like helped them take amps out. And when I helped them take amps out, AC obviously came out as well because he was just piling straight into the van. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry to bother you, but I think you're cool. Basically, like he'd clocked the Amen back patch and he was like, oh, nice one, man. Like he had pointed at me when they were on stage because I was like singing along. Like he was obviously aware. So I gave him the CD. The way he tells it, he was just like, he just thought I was some like punk kid. So he was expecting something noisy or whatever. But he listened to it. And then like a week later, he sent me a message on MySpace or whatever it was at the time and was like, we should work together. And then he ended up producing my second EP in Bedford when he was on tour with Wednesday 13. He came out to Bedford afterwards, and we recorded at the same studio that Trash Light Vision recorded their record at with Nick Mailing and Robin Guy. And Robin Guy came and played drums, and that's when I met Robin. And Robin's been a real friend of mine, and he plays on the Crisis Actor record and the Some Legacy record, and he's been a big part of my life.
Robin kind of oozes fun.
Yeah, Robin's the best. Yeah, he's just such a fun guy to have around on stage and in the studio and at festivals, and yeah. Absolutely amazing guy, an amazing drummer.